Harry's thoughts were a tangled web as he drifted in the nebulous space between sleep and consciousness. His mind whispered a silent prayer to understand the dreams that plagued him, each more vivid and unsettling than the last. Tonight was no different. He found himself standing before an old building, its bricks cloaked in the shadow of night, only the fire escape providing a metallic gleam in the moonlight. Harry felt an irresistible pull, a directive from some unspoken rule of this dream world, compelling him to ascend the rusted stairs. As he climbed, a sense of foreboding twisted in his gut, a primal warning that he was not merely trespassing, but violating a sacred, unseen law of this place. The fire escape groaned under his weight, each step echoing into the silence like a proclamation of his intrusion. At the top, a window yawned open, an invitation, or perhaps a trap. He swung his leg over the sill and descended into darkness. The room he entered was suffocatingly small, cluttered with ancient books whose musty smell filled the air. As he moved, they began to tumble from their perches, thumping against him, an avalanche of forgotten knowledge. Harry tried to shield himself, but the onslaught was relentless. Soon, he was buried, the weight pressing down until the floor beneath him gave way. He plummeted into darkness, the air rushing past him turning into thick, murky water. He splashed into a hidden lake, the impact sending ripples through the inky depths. Harry fought for the surface, gasping for air, but something in the water stirred. A splash, a shadow moving beneath the surface, something coming for him. Panic surged as he swam desperately for what he hoped was the shore. Just as he felt a cold grip encircle his ankle, dragging him down into the abyss, green lights flickered to life around him. They swirled in a hypnotic dance, illuminating a path through the water. Harry, now resigned to his fate, allowed the current to carry him, the lights guiding him like spectral hands. When he broke the surface again, it was into a room unlike any other. Brick walls encircled a gathering of people, their faces obscured by shadow and light. They propped Harry up in a chair at the center, all eyes on him as a small, unsettling man approached. The man's smile was a gash of malice as he leaned in close and whispered, "Guilty." The room erupted in cheers, a cacophony of delight at his condemnation. Before Harry could protest, a behemoth of a man seized him, dragging him down a hallway that seemed to stretch into infinity. Finally, he was thrown into a dark room, the door slamming shut behind him. Time lost meaning as he waited in the oppressive gloom. Eventually, curiosity overcame fear, and he approached the door. It swung open with ease, revealing a world bathed in blinding light. Outside, the world was a paradox of future and past. Metal zeppelins adorned the sky, soaring amongst buildings that whispered of an age long forgotten. People moved through the streets in a blur, each face a mask of indifference or curiosity. Harry's gaze was drawn upwards as one of the zeppelins caught fire, a slow, graceful descent turning into chaos as it plummeted towards the cobbled street. He watched, frozen, as the world erupted into madness around him, the zeppelin crashing down, trapping him beneath a mountain of rubble and fire. As he lay there, struggling for breath beneath the weight of a dying world, the sun dimmed, obscured by a veil of dust and smoke. For a moment, everything was quiet, a false peace in the eye of the storm, and then darkness claimed him. But the darkness twisted into the endless corridor of his earlier escape. The walls slick with condensation and an air of menace. The sound of chasing footsteps joined his own, turning the silence into a cacophony of echoes and dread. He glanced over his shoulder to see hauntingly familiar faces, distorted and accusing, swarming closer with every heartbeat. The slippery floor betrayed him, and he found himself sliding uncontrollably. Hands reached out from the ghostly crowd, almost touching him, whispering in a rush of wind and shadow. With a desperate effort, Harry regained his footing and continued the frantic race down the corridor, each turn bringing more length to the hallway, an endless maze constructed from his deepest fears. Finally, his desperate run came to an abrupt end as he stumbled and fell beneath the weight of the dream world crashing down upon him. He awoke with a start, his heart racing, the images of his dream lingering like smoke. He sat up, the real world feeling distant and dull compared to the vivid nightmare. He was safe, Yet the unsettling echo of that other world clung to him, a reminder of the thin line between dream and reality.